Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Another great edition of Bring It in the House podcast show where we spotlight musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders. Get your meal. I'm your host, Millie Mills, and I'm excited to have in the house with us tonight. This gentleman is doing so many great things. Now, I don't know if he coined it, but I'm saying he coined the phrase po jazz. He's a musician, spoken word artist. He's a published author, entrepreneur. Let's give it up for Z Mill.
How you doing? How you doing? Hello, Mildred. How
I'm
are
good. How are
you? Good.
you?
What? It's a beautiful day. Another day in paradise. You know, we're here. We're alive. We got up this morning.
Mhm.
Everything else is gravy.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. I can't agree with you more. It's a holiday season. We thank God for another beautiful season
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
a chance to just give thanks and bless those that we love, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Always family, friends, loved ones. So it's a phenomenal time of year, and it's all in the air, and it's actually a beautiful day in Dallas. Sunny, close to 60 degrees, no
Yes.
wind. It's nice.
Same here in Austin, Texas. It's sunshiny, beautiful. Excuse me, about 61 here because we're always a little bit warmer, just a shy tad warmer than Dallas.
Yeah, yeah. I've been to Austin many times. We went to the Texas Relays for over 30 years in a row.
Oh.
Just back to back to back. So big fan of Austin Texas Relays. A lot of friends, a lot of people that I know are down there.
Awesome. And speaking of, tell everybody where you're from, your hometown, your alma mater, and all of that.
Uh, Zamil, I am from Dallas, Texas. Graduated from Roosevelt High School, went to George Washington Carver Elementary, then went to Sequoia, Oliver Wendell Holmes, then went to Franklin D. Roosevelt in the mighty Oak Cliff in the Cliffs, and then went on to SMU to get my degree from SMU with a bachelor's in economics. So Dallas born and raised, and happy to be here. Had an opportunity to go a lot of places, but Dallas is home and always has been and always will be.
Amen. Amen. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Well, shout out to your alma maters and, and all of that great stuff.
Mustangs for life.
Mustangs. Okay. I'm a Mustang,
Wow.
well, high school. Yeah. Marvel High School, the Mighty Mustangs is what we said back
Wow,
in the
wow,
day.
wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Mustangs high school and Mustangs in college.
Wow, look at that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true because I remember SMU's mascot because I lived in Dallas once and yeah, I remember that the
yeah,
Mustangs.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So let's get right into you though. You, like I say, you're so incredible and we're just happy to be spotlighting you. Now, I read that, well, you kind of started your career early as 12. You started writing lyrics and melodies at the age of 12. Please elaborate.
Actually, I wrote my first poem when I was 6 years old in the first grade. I
Oh,
was-
wow.
Won a citywide poetry contest, and it was an amazing thing. And from the very beginning, I've always heard melodies and rhymes, and when I hear musical notes, I see words. And so that started at 6, and then we grew into it, a little bit more, and got a
Mhm.
bit more proficient as I got older. Around 12, the writing itself, really matured in terms of the content of what it was that I was writing about. So, and it was all about what I was seeing. It was living in a life. It was the projects. It was the streets. It was school. It was understanding love at a very, very, at the very infant, small stage, understanding what it was and what it was about, and family. So I was writing about all those things, and as a poet and as a writer and as a musician, you write what you see, and when you
Mhm.
see it, you feel it, you put it into words, and the pen and paper takes flow.
Wow. So you're kind of like I've heard Steve Harvey say that artists, often have like a third eye. So you could see at a young age, you were taking, you were observing all of that was going on around you and
Yeah,
you were able to put it to paper and pen. That is a gift within itself.
It is, you know what? Thank you for
Yeah.
that. It is a gift. It's
Mhm.
a gift and it's a blessing. And
Mhm.
when you see it, and when you have those moments that you're inspired, you have to write it. You have to write it down in that moment. You know, because you have
Yes.
to do it right then. Because if you don't, you lose it. And you
Yes.
know, and when you go back to try to recreate it, you can mess it up. and I've
Yes.
and I've messed up some thoughts. But when you
Yeah.
understand where it's coming from and you do it
From.
in that moment, then the moment becomes magical.
Yes. Yes. And did someone prep you at that young age? Did someone tell you, "Hey, you need to write this down. If you're thinking this, you need to put all this, record this stuff, put it down." Anybody tell you that?
No, it's to be honest, no. I had a first grade teacher, and uh, we were in language arts, right, in
Hmm.
first grade.
Hmm.
I know you're a young woman, but you may not know anything about language arts. But we
Yes.
but we had but she saw something in me, and she said to me when I was 6, this is the first grade, she said, you are talented, you're gifted, because I was always, it was always the football, it was classroom. I was very blessed and fortunate to have the academic part, the athletic part, and then
Mhm.
the creative. So I was blessed with those things. And she
Yes.
said to me, she said, you have an opportunity to be somebody in this white man.
Hmm.
That's exactly what she told me. She said, you can be something. And you know what? I believed her. And I took the writing, and I took the music, I took the poetry, and I took the school and the classwork and the academics. I took it all in and ran with it. And it stayed
Hmm.
to this very day. And that was actually 1966. So it's been some time, but I'll never forget it.
Yes. And 66. Wow. I wouldn't have calculated that. I was not trying to put you on the spot, but okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what, it's that thing, so
Yeah.
I'm proud of that, because I'm
Yes, of
sitting here,
course.
in that moment. And sometimes we try to hide it, but now, you know what, to age in these days and in these times, to be able to say you're silver or you're a decade, whatever it is past silver, is a beauty and a blessing, because we're living
Mhm.
in a day and time that's so crazy, that's so tumultuous, and you have,
Mhm.
it's a privilege to be
It
sitting
is.
talking to you right now. It
It
is.
is a privilege, and I agree. I'm just thankful,
Every,
like you said, for every moment, every second.
every day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that's amazing. So I was also reviewing, looking over your bio, and of course, you mentioned about your undergraduate studies. Now, you originally started out in computer science. Is that right?
Yeah, I originally started out in computer science. I was actually in a computer cluster in Skyline. We went to Skyline. We had what you call magnet schools. And so in
Hmm.
the morning, they had a computer cluster in another school, and then Roosevelt was my base school. And
Hmm.
so I took computer science when I was in high school, and then started on it when I went to SMU.
Wow. So what I'm getting at, so you transitioned from the computer science into economics, and then from there, after you receive your degree, tell us how your career, kind of the career path transition over into the Jazz, and tell us exactly what Jazz is.
Okay, um, good question. Uh,
Yeah.
So jazz is the blending of smooth jazz, smooth R&B, neo soul, and spoken word with a splash of blues, blended together to make you feel good, to lift your heart, stir your spirit, and warm your soul. It's taking the elements that make up all of those beautiful art forms, to put it in a pot, to give you something that will lift you up and carry you away in the melodies and in the laughter and the music and the energy of the room. So that's what Pajazz is. The transition from SMU to economics, from the computer science. I actually left SMU uh, in 83, and then started back. I went back to school 14 years later to finish the degree. And then when I went back, I needed 14. When I left, I only needed 12 hours to actually get the degree. And when I went back, I needed 36 hours to get 1 degree, and I was close 18 hours away when I left from getting 2 degrees. So I lost my mind in 83. And when
Yeah.
you 1 years old, I was at a time and in a space. So I went back to get my degree after working. I started working uh, largest transportation company in the world, 1983. Became a manager, moved up in the ranks very very fast, and then I transitioned some years after that into what we know today as Zamil's Pajazz Experience.
Woo, that is amazing. Just to hear you talk about that, because you sum it up nicely. But I know, we all know, you took a lot of steps. It wasn't easy to get there.
It
It was.
is, oh, absolutely a lot of steps. And there were a whole lot of bumps in the road. There
Mhm,
was some valleys, in there.
mhm,
There was a
mhm.
lot of things that happened. I lost my mother. She was 49,
Oh,
lost a brother who was 39. And in
oh
all
no.
of those years, and it seemed at the end of every conflict, at the end of every single trial, there was a moment that I had to tell myself, you got to get up. But I always remember what my mother used to tell me, no matter what those stumbling blocks were, no matter what those bumps in the roads were, she would
Mhm.
always say to me, you know what you got to do. And
Yeah.
in my mind, even today, even in those moments, where there's solace and
Mhm,
indecision or challenges, I could hear
mhm.
her saying to me, you know what you got to do. And,
Yeah.
and that it resonates in me every
Mhm.
single day that I live.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful that you have those moments where you can hold on to the wisdom of your parents and your loved ones. I heard Pastor Joel Osteen say the other day that all of heaven is up there cheering for us, and that did a lot for me because I immediately thought of my mother, grandmother, and all those pillars that
Yeah.
were before us, and
Who
I
said
feel that. I feel that sometimes they're cheering me on when I want to give up, like what you just said.
and you
You
can't give up.
can't give up.
You can't give up because when you look at the alternative and you think
Yeah,
about what the alternative of giving up is, it's just
yeah,
something that you want to do. And you set the goal, you set the plan, and then you put the plan in place or the steps in place to get the goal. And they used to say, every now and again, right?
yeah.
Every now and again, you just have to reach down and pull that inspiration up because we stand on the shoulders of all those who came before us,
That's
who
right.
went through things that we will never be able to comprehend. Although we're dealing with the madness and chaos of calamities that exist in today's society,
Yeah.
some of the things that they went through, my parents went through, yeah, it was unbelievable. And but we have to survive it, and we've survived it, and we have prospered. Look at you now on your TV show. You're smiling, you're looking good, life and it's vibrant, and you're
Thank
sitting in this
you.
space. And so now it's we have that. This is who we are.
Yes, this is who we are. Thank you for confirming that. You're so sweet. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm just so proud of you. I mean, and your testimony, your story is, I know it's going to touch and help a lot of people because it's so many people we're out here trying to do things, and sometimes we just need that reassurance.
Yeah, it's challenging because there are a lot of forces that are
Hmm.
literally fighting
Hmm.
against and
Hmm.
uh, it's every single day you're trying to prove to yourself who you are. But the problem comes in my humble opinion, and I don't know where we were going with this and how you're doing on your agenda and on your list of questions, but
Now, go ahead.
interject this. One of the biggest problems is that we try so hard to
Hmm.
please other people, to impress other people.
Hmm.
That cliche, to impress other people that we don't know, to all those kind of things. And
Hmm.
our number one priority to ourselves is to be ourselves,
Yeah,
is to be you.
that's it.
Is to be who you are. You are worth it. You have always been worth it.
Worth it.
And that was a quote I do Tuesday's truth and a Wednesday's word, right? Where Tuesday's truth is more of a right straight between the eyes, down the pipe, moment of messaging. And in the word, and Wednesday's words is a bit uplifting. And one of them said, we are the sum of the choices we make, the chances we take, and the
Mhm.
opportunities we create. We are the sum,
Some
the choices we make, the chances we take, and the opportunities we
is
create.
recreates.
All of that should undergird everything we do in terms of prioritizing where we need to go in our life and what we need to do in order to move forward.
That's true. That is so true. I love it. So, to the audience, just share with us what was one of your biggest challenges. What you say would be your biggest challenge in launching such an organization like yours of that type of magnitude? Because I was reading about what is it? Attention Required. That's
It's
one of
required.
your companies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thanks for asking. Attention required. The biggest challenge was really just trying to understand the technical side, the legal side, the putting in place of what you need to do.
Do.
Actually, have an organization, how you have to, file at the LLC, and then getting behind the marketing part of what it is that you have to do in
Mhm.
order to be successful. Because quite honestly, that was
Mhm.
something that I just did not do. And to this very day, I began to really, after, spending 40 years in corporate America. See, I was in corporate
Mhm.
America for 40 years. I retired 11 months ago. And one of the things that I never really had the opportunity, or quite to be quite frank, the total understanding of when you start a company, it's
Mhm.
how great your product is or how good you think you are. It all comes
Mhm.
down to marketing. And in this
Yes,
day,
it is.
it's all about marketing, and it's social media.
Mhm.
Well, see, I didn't do that. So the challenge has been and is for me is to do the content, do the posting. The challenge is getting into today's medium in terms of how we grow our business, in terms of how we reach out and how we reach out and connect to people. I spent my time working on the content, the music, the poetry, the words, the structure, so that when you pick the book up, you look like you just came out of, one of the best bookstores anywhere, like you went to
Mhm.
Noble and Target. So
Mhm.
I wanted the look and the texture and the feel of it. I wanted the music to sound like you just came out of, Target or somewhere ever, wherever you
Mhm.
shop buy your music. So when you picked it up and you looked at the cover to see how, you say, oh man, this is not something he sold just, put together. And so I spent a lot of time in that. So the challenge has always been transitioning from understanding what the content is and what you have to do there, the
Mhm.
building of it from the technical side, and then the actual marketing and letting the people know what it is that you do.
Mhm. And there's nothing wrong with that because you are the creative. So you're going to be concerned with
Yeah.
how everything sounds and how everything looks because that's what you do. And I struggle with that as well. But I've learned that delegate those other duties to someone
Yeah.
who is better at it than me when it comes to the, like the digital stuff
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the legal end of it. If you don't understand the legal end, it's okay to
Look
reach
at
out.
people who are experts in that thing now,
Yeah.
so that you can continue to work on the content. You
That's
know,
right. That's what that is. I
and
agree.
being in management and then having people report to you for so many years, and having hundreds of people under your wing. I had the opportunity to do that. But when you're an
Mhm.
entrepreneur and you have to be the candle maker, the bricklayer, the
Everything.
baker, and
Mhm.
there are two people that help, or that with me, that do things for me, work with me, and do a lot of the things that I'm not able to do or get to. I couldn't do it without them. And but there's still more, because there's always something to do. I mean, when you think about it, there's something to do every
Oh
single.
yeah.
And so that part of it is challenging, is making myself take the time to make the time to actually decompress, because there's always something to do. But you still have to, again, move forward, and you have to work on the craft every single day.
Every single day. That's right. And you have three companies. Of course, Attention Required is the parent company, but you also have Books by Z Mill and Lyrics Unlimited. And I was snooping around on
Yeah,
YouTube, and I
you been
found
in
one.
it. You in it. You in
Yeah,
it.
I
And
found
you see,
your video. Let's take a look at one of your open mic performances at
oh wow.
Brooklyn's. Is that
Oh,
in Dallas?
oh yeah. Oh man, you went way back. You went way, way back.
Well, let's take a look. Yeah, this is Z Mill. I love
I thank God for the opportunity to be here with you tonight. It is truly a blessing. It is the first opportunity that I had to actually get up in front of a group also of this size. So bear with me a second. But after that piece, I thought I'd do something especially for the ladies. Especially for you. If you have a man who maybe you haven't quite, he hasn't quite put the words together that you want to hear, and something sweet and solid and sexy that he might want to say to you, because all of you like to be talked to really nice and sweet, sexy. Is that right? Ladies, listen to this. Is that right? Can you get it? So, for all you fellas that may not quite have the right words, let me give this to you for you to take home and give to your ladies. And when you whisper this to her, you're going to get something that night. Watch out. This piece is called An Affair of the Stars. You are the highlight of my millennium. There is no doubt that fragments of our intimacy was born from unnamed words. From the moment you crystallized into my view, I knew we would become the caretakers of the other's heart. You said to me, from this moment, there shall be no other. You and I, born of life, born of beauty, born of love, born of lust. You and I together, it had to be a must. From the moment I saw you, there was nothing left for me to do but to look into your eyes and tell you that I love you. I am yours and you are mine. Together we have created time. Here, in this world, here in this moment, here in this time, you are my lady, and I am your man. We can do anything if we dare, if we can. Tell me what you want. Tell me what to do. And I will show you love that you never knew.
Wow, wow. You know what? That is like an amazing thing, because I remember the I remember the Brooklyn, and I didn't remember what the actual poem was. I remember because that is actually the very first time I got up in front of a group of people on stage to get that thing started. I can't even remember what year that was, but that's amazing. Thank you for that. You took me way back for that,
You're
man. That's
welcome.
that's
You're
amazing.
very welcome, man. And not only are you're good with the lyrics and all of that, then you have your book. Tell us about your book.
Well, there are actually two books. Thoughts and Vision
Mhm.
was the first book, and Thoughts and Vision was all of my books are life, love, and inspiration. So they're all broken down in three chapters. Love
Mhm.
Unleashed, the second book, is love, life, and inspiration, but there is a chapter on intimacy, not raunchy, not crazy, 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 whatever,
Mhm.
but sensually and intimacy, because truly intimacy is the feeling of touching without actually feeling the person. It's a mental,
Exactly.
it's mental more than it is physical. So true intimacy reaches you beyond a place that just touching cannot get to. But Thoughts and Vision explores all those things. Thoughts and Vision explores life. It lifts you up. And then Love Unleashed, the book behind that, actually my writing went to another level. So both of those books are near and dear to my heart, because the content of them speaks directly to what's happening in the world at that time. Because again, as poets and as writers, we write in the time, we write in the moment, we write in what we see, we write in
Mhm.
what we feel in that moment. So it was about love, it was about life. In both books, speak to where we are as a people, where we are as society, where we are in terms of the heart, the connection, and the beauty of love, uh, the tragic, the separation, the how we come to know one another as individuals from a very personal perspective, to life, and why we need to be more than what we feel we can be, if that makes sense. If
It
that
makes lots of sense.
so
Yes.
we I think we sell ourselves short. We s- we are capable of so very very much more. And Thoughts and Vision and Love Unleashed taps into the frequency of who we are in terms of love, life, and where we need to be as individuals and as people.
And you said it's called Love Unleashed.
Yes, Love Unleashed, the fire and passion of poetry. Love Unleashed, the fire and passion of poetry. I had a friend of mine, in one of my shows last year,
Mhm.
in one of the shows I did. He said, "Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I went to that Love Unleashed I got from you, dude, and I'm gonna tell you something, brother. He just dapped me. He just said, that's all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna dap you, brother. I just want to say thank you, brother, for that. Thank you for that." And so
Oh, wow.
another friend of mine said there was one of the pieces called "I'm Sorry," and
Hmm.
and one of my friends said, "Dude, they got me out of the jailhouse, dog." He said, "I so appreciate it," and it was because it was a piece about saying that I'm sorry for the flawed indiscretion, but the ultimate hope is that that mistake does not take your company from me. Please do not allow this flawed indiscretion to allow you to steal away from the company of my presence. And so it speaks to that part of who we are. And so said, I'm sorry. I did it. I messed up. So Love Unleashed and Thoughts and Vision, that's what they are. They're the beauty of love. Again, there's intimate love. There's, it's you that I want to roll over to every single morning. It's that kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff. So,
That
how
kind
can we pick up that book, Zamil?
You can go to All Things Zamil is at Zamil at attentionrequired.com, but it's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon
Yeah,
as well.
you can order. Yeah,
Mhm.
you can order the book on Amazon. Both of them
Both.
on Amazon. All the music, all of the books, and all of the music is
Mhm.
out there on Amazon, and the music is on the digital platforms on iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube Music. So it's out there.
It's out there. And if
Uh,
we want to book you for an event, will we just go to Attention Required, or how does that
yeah,
work?
zip. Go to attentionrequired.com, Zamil at attentionrequired.com. The contact information is on there, and for any, the promo stuff, the writing and book signings and on those kinds of things, all of that PR stuff, we got to go through Desiree. I mean, all of her contact information.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Desiree Benson, PR. So she is totally amazing. I don't thank her. Shout out to her actually for
Yes.
us up and bringing
Yeah.
us together. But
Mhm.
she's done some amazing work and worked with some incredible people and
She does.
entertainers, and I'm very fortunate to have her be someone that's representing me because she does an outstanding job.
She does. Shout out to Desiree. She is awesome. And speaking of, we're about to run out of time. Would you like to shout out to anyone else before we go?
Oh, just to all of the pajazists, those are the people that follow me. We call pajazists. And
Hmm.
for the people who follow me, and thank you to all of you who have, looked into music, have, supported me with the music, have come to the shows, have sold out the shows, the books, Zamil.com, Pajaz Experience on Facebook, Zamil's Pajaz on Instagram and on TikTok. And for all of you who are excited about the new project, Stir It Up, which we just released, you got to go out there and get that one because you're going to be bringing the new year in with this one. We got a new jam we just released called Stir It Up. It's an old school vibe. It's going to get you humping and jumping. And that's what's happening on the horizon. And shout out to you. And again, Desiree and all the people who have supported me through the years, all the friends and family and coworkers.
Yeah, and I also mentioned I want to before you go because the time is just about out. But I missed your sold out concert you had a few months back. So let us know where we can see you next.
Absolutely. We're putting together, we're ending the Zamil's Jazz Experience. We're editing. It's going to be streamed. We're putting the final touches on it now. And I'm excited because you know what, we're gonna stir it up. I promise you.
All right, guys, you heard it from Zamil. Thank you again for stopping by during this busy holiday season. You're very welcome.
Thank you,
Thank
Fab.
you.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. And we'll see you guys next week right here on Bring It in the House. We love you.